Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we dive into the day's most pressing news stories and bring you the facts without the fiction. We're starting off with a story that's got everyone in the nation's capital talking. The John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, one of the most iconic cultural institutions in the United States, has been at the center of a controversy surrounding its name. Recently, the Trump administration announced that the complex would be renamed the Trump-Kennedy Center, sparking outrage from many who see this as an attempt to politicize the arts. Rep. Joyce Beatty of Ohio has filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration and the Kennedy Center's board, arguing that the name change was made without congressional approval, which is required by law. The suit claims that the renaming of the center is a breach of trust and a violation of the center's governing statutes. On the other side of the argument, the Kennedy Center's management has stated that they are confident the court will uphold the board's decision on the name change and the planned renovations to the complex. The White House has not commented on the matter. This controversy has already had an impact on the arts community, with several high-profile performers canceling their scheduled appearances at the center in protest of the name change. The Washington National Opera has also severed its ties with the Kennedy Center, citing a significant drop in ticket sales. As this story continues to unfold, we'll be keeping a close eye on developments and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. We'll be examining the implications of this controversy and what it might mean for the future of the arts in America. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're diving into a story that's causing frustration for travelers across the United States. The Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, is experiencing its longest security lines in history, with wait times exceeding 4 hours at some major airports. This unprecedented disruption is being driven by a partial government shutdown that has left the Department of Homeland Security without funding. According to TSA Deputy Administrator Ha-Nwa McNeil, call-out rates have reached 40% to 50% at some airports, resulting in massive staffing shortages. The financial strain on TSA workers who are continuing to work without pay is already taking a toll. Some workers are struggling to pay rent and bills, with reports of employees sleeping in their cars. About 480 employees have already quit, and McNeil warned that the situation could make it even harder to recruit new workers in the future. The impact is being felt at airports across the country, including George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston, which has been among the hardest hit. The airport is bracing for additional crowds tied to the Energy Conference Sierra Week and the start of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Other major hubs, such as LaGuardia Airport and Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, are also experiencing long lines. In an effort to manage the crowds, President Donald Trump has sent immigration and customs enforcement officers to some airports to assist with checking travelers' IDs. However, it's unclear whether this will meaningfully reduce wait times. As spring break travel ramps up, the situation is likely to worsen, causing further disruptions for travelers. We want to hear from you. Have you been affected by the long security lines at airports? Share your story with us on social media using the hashtag #Barbara'sBulletin. We'll continue to follow this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we close out today's program, I want to bring your attention to a pressing and complex issue that has been unfolding in the Middle East. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has seen a significant escalation of violence in recent days, with reports of Israeli settlers attacking Palestinian villages and homes in the occupied West Bank. According to reports from the region, at least one Palestinian man was killed by Israeli gunfire during a raid north of Jerusalem. The incident occurred in the Kufr Aqab neighborhood, which is technically part of Jerusalem but is located on the West Bank side of Israel's separation wall. The Palestinian Health Ministry and relatives have confirmed the death of 22-year-old Mustafa Assad Hamad. The Israeli military has stated that it is looking into reports of the death, while Palestinians fear that the demolitions of homes and buildings in the area will pave the way for Israeli settlers to move in. This concern is not unfounded, as similar patterns have been seen in parts of East Jerusalem in recent months. The surge in settler violence follows a trend seen during the Gaza war, triggered by Hamas-led attacks on Israel in October 2023. The conflict has resulted in the deaths of at least 1,052 Palestinians, many of them militants but also scores of civilians, in the West Bank since the start of the Gaza war. It's essential to acknowledge the complexity and depth of this conflict, which has been ongoing for decades. Both Israelis and Palestinians have legitimate concerns and claims to the land, and a peaceful resolution will require a nuanced understanding of these perspectives. As we strive to provide balanced and accurate reporting, it's crucial to recognize the human cost of this conflict. The loss of life, the displacement of families, and the destruction of communities are all devastating consequences that must be acknowledged and addressed. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.